right, what it do? Nice sunny day, man. Nice sunny day for some al cuerpo boxing to the body. So let's talk some boxing, man. This weekend, looks like there's been a good reception for the Usyk. I guess it's not an exhibition fight, but the Usyk versus Rico Van Horven, if I pronounced that correctly, fight in Giza, Egypt, and looks like it's had a good turn up, man. A good turn up. We've seen Canelo land, Crawford's landed, Opetaia's landed, and countless others. So I think this event is actually pretty good, mainly for Turkey Al Sheikh, because Turkey Al Sheikh, or I should say the ring and Riyadh season outfit are doing a good part to bring um, some more attraction to this event and probably for their, excuse me, future scheduling. Um, Maybe let me just get this out of the way first, because I don't know if I touched on. Maybe I should do a separate video on Bam Rodriguez. No, actually, no, my bad, my bad. What am I talking about here? I want Inoue versus Loma, man. For me, that's the fight to make. That is the fight to make. Maybe I might do a video for Lomachenko and Tank Davis, man, but nah. It's not even it's not even brewed right? So Tank, who knows what's going on with Tank, and Lomachenko is coming back. We've got some fans saying that Lomachenko and Inoue is an unfair fight, right? A minor few are saying that Lomachenko just hasn't, you know, he's too rusty. Okay, the other half are saying that Inoue is too small. But guys, check it out, man, because a lot of fans they don't really focus on the, well, they do. I'm not gonna say they don't, but the size advantages, right? So if you put Nonito Donaire and Inoue, right, and then you put Nonito and Rigandao, and then you put Rigandao and Lomachenko, guys. Come on, man, wake up. This is not a hard fight to make. There is no disadvantage about size. And trust me, call me crazy, man. Call me crazy. But I would like to see Lomachenko come back and try to dethrone Naoya Inoue. One, because, hey, yo, man, we're talking about the Matrix here. We're talking about the old school Matrix, and he's got a lot to prove on his get back, right? A quick recap: a lot of fans, I wouldn't say myself included, but a lot of fans thought that Lomachenko beat Devin Haney. That's debatable, but let's just agree that Devin Haney was just too big for Lomachenko, guys. It's too big, man. Rehydrating more than 25 pounds, so it is what it is, man. Would I like to see a rematch? Perhaps, but I mean, what kind of weight would you even make? And now we got Ryan Garcia in the mix, so there's a lot of good things going on in boxing right now. A lot of good things going on in boxing. But again, guys, the fight that I want to watch, I want to see Loma versus Inoue, Monster Inoue. Because check it out, if Lomachenko, can you guys imagine if Lomachenko were to come back and beat pretty much the number one, number two pound for pound guy right now in the game? And again, guys, remember I just illustrated Rigondeaux, Lomachenko, and Donaire, Nonito Donaire. They're all pretty much about the same size, more or less. And you might as well include Bam, man, Bam, because I don't know. I think Bam already needs that opportunity to showcase what he's all about at the best elite level. When I'm talking about like fighting Inoue, or I guess guys like Rigondeaux. To me, guys, Rigondeaux is the smallest of all these guys, man. He was the smallest of all these guys. So I propose a fight at 128. 128, man. Lomachenko and Inoue. Don't get too stuck on like, oh, well, Inoue hasn't seen 126. Trust me, there's no problem I mean, for me, I got Inoue beating all the guys at 126 anyways. I've been saying that for a while. So what's 2 pounds more, guys? The hard part is not even the weight. Don't focus on that. It's just more so the style matchup. I want to see aggressive monster speed versus intelligent matrix speed, right? Lomachenko. And I think Lomachenko still got it. If I'm not mistaken, Lomachenko is a year younger than Usyk. Come on, we're still cheering Usyk right now. And it's not even about, oh, well, that's heavyweight, blah, blah. Nah. What else, man? What else? Let's go into the nitty gritty, man. So again, Canelo and Crawford, they're not right now, they're right now in Giza, Egypt. That's pretty dope, man. Who knows what's brewing behind the scenes? What well, Canelo still got his two more fights, right? He's got to fight in Billy. Then the fourth fight, who knows he's got to fight. And then after that, obviously, I wouldn't he'd probably expect a new offer from the Saudis, right? Riyadh season, Turkey. And so now Crawford's here. Now, what do you think Crawford is up to? I told you guys, man, I don't think Crawford's retiring, man. He's just kind of fishing for a better payday and who is he gonna fight next? Maybe he's Bernie the boxer said they're looking for the winner of Mbili Canelo, right? So they're saying they're looking for the winner. So that means Crawford's gonna come back. Then we got Shiraz this weekend, right? Shiraz against some kid. I don't even know the guy's name, but I would imagine they want to go against Crawford. Might be interested in Shiraz, right? So think about this, guys. We know Turkey loves Hamza Shiraz, whatever, be it preference, whatever. And now, in Turkey's point of view, he's like, well, Crawford did beat Canelo, regardless of how you view that style of fight. But Turkey might think, and if he's persuaded, he might think that Crawford versus Shiraz is better now than Canelo versus Shiraz, right? Because come on, I mean, Turkey's not stupid. You can come out of retirement, so that's not a problem, guys. And again, money talks. So if Turkey is always about, well, I want to make the best and biggest fights, some of the Saudis really don't care about that timeline of a boxer, the age, right? I mean, remember that Verhoeven versus Joshua was going to be the fight, but Joshua had the accident, so now we've got Usyk, right? So you got these unexplainable, or I guess explainable situations that the Saudis are willing to pay for events no matter what. So that's good, guys. What's another proposition? Yo, why don't we get now? Because I know Crawford Opetaia, they recently just did some sort of like video or photo, not a photo shoot, but they hooked up. And remember, Terence Crawford beat Jose Benavidez. This fight was at what, 147, 140. Now, what I think the Benavidez family should do is they should really consider or embrace the mechanics and the metrics of notoriety, guys. Hey, what's up here? This is notoriety is underrated. So Jose Benavidez Jr., if you're looking for another payday, and let's say things aren't even consistent nowadays, nothing's perfect, you should be going next year, brother. Hook up with Turkey side by side and say, you know what? Let me get my get back with Terrence Crawford, right? I mean, at least try. Try. Even though some fans might say that doesn't make sense, but we're talking about a Jose Benavidez Jr. that went the full 12 with Jamal Charlo, guys. So how about Crawford versus Jose Benavidez Jr. and let's say 160, right? Because Crawford already did 160. How about 160? Let's get that. And that could be like either a co-main or a separate event to entice Benavidez versus Jay Opetaia. And I get that fight is so hard to make. But anyways, Usyk, Opetaia and Crawford recently did a shot together, right? A photo. And if fans follow, how would you say, dramas, we know that Opetaia has been, or he's chasing Benavidez. And I should say vice versa, but I don't know what's up with Benavidez, man. I think Benavidez' management should let him do what he wants to do. Because David, man, you need to be in Riyadh right now. It makes no sense why you wouldn't be at the Riyadh season event. Okay, you got a lot of major players right now in Cairo, Egypt. You know, I mean, how I don't really follow how David Benavidez reacted to Crawford when they're side by side because obviously he knocked out his older brother Jose Benavidez Jr. and they had a little beef in the gym. So I don't know how David Benavidez ever interpreted that. That's the whole outcome of it. More importantly, guys, I always say this, man. Try and get that Saudi money, man. Just get that Saudi money as much as possible, man. Exploit it. Take advantage of it. You know, they're willing to pay. The Saudis need Americans. They need Mexican Americans. They need Mexicans. Whatever. Now they got this Dutch guy, right, Verhoeven. So they're playing their cards right, man. They're playing their cards right. By the way, I think the Verhoeven and Usyk fight. I don't know. I think if Verhoeven doesn't come to fight, guys, if he doesn't come to fight, I think Usyk stops him in less than 6. You can't. You're not gonna box Usyk, man. And if anybody wants like I guess maybe the closest thing to this fight, I would recommend watching Usyk versus Bellew. Usyk versus Bellew. Maybe that's not a good comparison, but let me think. What's the common factor of uh, of comparing those two? Obviously, not size. Verhoeven's way bigger than Tony Bellew. Tony Bellew is faster than Verhoeven, but I guess it's the power, man. So there were a lot of times that Tony Bellew tried to. Well, in the early rounds, he actually did catch Usyk a couple times with that right hand. So maybe. Let's see here. What else? Maybe Verhoeven, if he really goes for the war in a fight, you gotta press Usyk and you gotta smash the body, man. Make it an ugly fight. That's the word, man. Ugly. We gotta make it an ugly fight. That's the only way you're gonna have a chance to beat a boxer. The last time we got something like that, guys, pay attention here. The last time we got that was Maidana Floyd. So Maidana had to go so unorthodox, non-diplomatic methods in, in boxing Floyd, and that's what you got. You got awkward. And you know what? Believe it or not, Verhoeven has like a looping right hand that's a little similar like Maidana if he can get it in there. I don't know. Maybe it's just a regular fighting thing, but it translates well between MMA and boxing. So I think Verhoeven's gonna have to take him. He's gonna have to take him to the ropes, man. Make it an ugly fight. That's the only way Verhoeven has a chance to at least make it competitive or make it entertaining for the fans, man. Otherwise, it's a waste of time. Verhoeven represents fighting. Verhoeven don't represent boxing, man. So he has to fight, right? But yeah, man. And then what's up with Canelo right now? I mean, Canelo's gonna be at the event. I mean, he's got to do his part. What benefit does he got showing up at the Usyk Verhoeven event unless Turkey begged him and asked him to please come? Because I don't think he would have done it of his own accord. I think maybe, I think maybe, guys, Canelo's been told that the Shiraz fight, should he win in Billy, that's the fight they want. And I think I'm more than sure. Check it out. This fourth and last final fight from Canelo, I would imagine Turkey's going to offer him probably, guys, probably 200 million this time, or if not that, at least 150, because we know how Turkey, the Saudis, how they value Shiraz, and it's in its last fight, so they're going to make the best out of it. And so, therefore, if Canelo knows that road plan, he probably wants to see a bit of Shiraz up front, personal, front row, baby. Get a feel of Shiraz, and then close the chapter. If Canelo wants to retire after Shiraz next year in May, we'll see. I prefer the rematch. And again, the rematch against Crawford, that might still be there. All these guys are together. All these boys are together. When I mean by boys, like industry cats, I think Canelo and Crawford, they've never had any pure animosity. They've never had animosity, man. They had to sell the fight, knocking each other's resumes. Crawford had some good points because Crawford said, he was already beaten by Floyd and Lara. Um, some even debate even Trout, so he lost to Bivol. So he's lost. Maybe not so much on paper, some of the fights I'm mentioning, but he's lost against what they say the movers and southpaws, blah blah blah. So hopefully we can get that rematch, man. I actually would like the Canelo Bivol rematch. That's a good fight too, man. I mean, what's Bivol got? I mean, Bivol, I don't know who he's fighting next to. I don't really following the light heavyweights right now. I think right now the attention is at cruiserweight, and I've been saying everybody follow the cruiserweight for a hot minute. Benavidez just dethroned Sudo Ramirez. And I expected a lot more from Zurdo, man. Zurdo Ramirez just didn't come to fight. He was too laxed. I don't really care so much about fans saying, well, he did announce, retirement. Well, I don't really care about that. Even if he did, so what? You got to come to fight, man. Make it like a Morales and Barrera outcome because that would also mean more money for you guys, man. If you're going to show up and fight, that's going to be more money for both of you. And the only guy that showed up was David, man. Speed, overwhelmingness, and that's what we got. And one thing too, I don't understand the life of me, guys. I don't understand this. I don't understand this. But how was Surdo's team after the third round? You're not using like a cold pack or an Answell, right? It's an anti-swelling cold compress made of steel. You dip it in cold water, ice packs. There's already a block of ice within the thing itself. How you not control the swelling? That makes no sense. Usually, when you start seeing bruises or cuts and swelling in an eye, you gotta press it, man. You gotta compress it. And Surdo's team didn't do that. I found that very odd. If I was Surdo, I would be like, "Yo, what's up? How come I didn't get even?" get treated for that. But that's a first, man. That's a first. So hematomas is nothing new, guys. Check out Angulo versus Lara. They were using a cold compress to stop the swelling, right? Duh. And then you saw check out the Chris Algieri versus what's that fight? Ruslan Provatnikov, right? Check out Algieri versus Ruslan Provatnikov. Look how they treated the swelling in desperate measures, guys. You got to control the swelling of the eye, man. And his team didn't do any of that. I don't get it, right? Think about it. The magnitude of Benavidez Surdo and your team is not really helping you out to hopefully go the next rounds, you know? So, anyways, let's see what David's got next. But David, man, right now you have to be taking advantage of the notoriety. Otherwise, it seems like you really don't want these fights. So right now, Crawford just pulled up with Opetaia. Crawford beat your brother, knocked him out, and now Opetaia, like the whole world is seeing that you're ducking Opetaia, right? And then you're unsure of going back to 175 or staying at cruiser. More importantly, David, man, like I don't know if it's you or if it's the PBC. Hopefully, you're looking at this video, man. But if Turkey Al Sheikh, the guy with the money, is telling you he wants to see the fight between you and Usyk, win or lose, dude, you got to take that, man. Look at Tony Bellew at 175. Skinny ass Tony Bellew still went up to heavyweight, had a good couple early rounds, but Usyk just outboxed him, man. Too much power, man. Usyk's big, man. Usyk, look at Usyk versus Tony Bellew, the physique. Usyk is nice. He's nice and chunky. Let me see who's this. He says, "Yo, someone is watching you from above." That's what's up, man. Oh yeah, let me see who is it. Yeah, man. It's Tony Montana, man. I'm at the villa. Tony. So guys, I mean, David Benavidez needs to take advantage of notoriety, man. It seems kind of like I don't want to say karma, but David has good options. Don't fumble it, man. If you fumble this right now that you're in the limelight of Saudi expectation and money, but you're still letting the PBC or your handler Samson, they're controlling you, that's a big fail, man. You can't do that, David. Otherwise, it makes it seem like you're not really about that, man. You've just been fighting small dudes your whole career, but now when you get to guys your size, you know, and I always tell friends, man, you gotta respect guys going up in weight. Like James Tony, I said, well, Roy Jones, um, like I just mentioned, Tony Bellew, just guys going up. Even Tommy Hearns went up to cruiserweight, right, to challenge himself. But now, when you're at the peak of your career and you're fighting guys your size, you got to stay there, man. Don't regress going backwards, right? Because there's guys. That's the thing, but a lot of fans don't understand. Boxers understand this. Fighters understand this. But when you start to fight guys your size and they're actual fighters, man, that's when it becomes complicated and challenging because, Opetai's got power on both hands. And I'm more than sure he's going to let go more than what Surdo did. And then on top of that, I just mentioned Turkey wants Usyk versus Benavidez. That's like the best news you could hear. If you're David Benavidez, remember, now here's the one thing. I said this before that once upon a time, Team Usyk's team said, yo, if Canelo wants to come to 190 or cruiser, we can do a catch weight at 190. It's ironic, right? 190, the same thing that David said for Dimitri Bivol. They said they would fight Canelo, and then they asked Canelo too about that. They were instigating. They said, "Yeah." Canelo said, "Why not?" But obviously, Usyk's way too big for Canelo. Now we see Benavidez. So look how everything is lining up correctly. The stars are lining up. I don't care about the old dramas, whatever. Fans, you can take it as you may. But right now, if you're a fan of boxing and you want to see the best fights, you gotta encourage David Benavidez to stay at cruiser or northbound, or more importantly, you gotta encourage David to take on the Usyk fight. And so, therefore, let me conclude with this, guys. You're gonna like this. So, Turkey wants Usyk and Benavidez, right? Right, right, right. That's better than Bivol. Come on, that's better money, man. Who is fighting this weekend? Usyk. You're not there. You didn't show up. Hopefully, you'll show up. I don't know. I mean, are you gonna show up in a day in a Concord? But Canelo is there. Crawford is there. Opetaia is there. Yo, we've got like three guys that don't really sit well with the Benavides family. Let me repeat that. Crawford, who beat one of the Benavides brothers. The guy you've been calling out forever, Canelo Alvarez, he's going to be in Egypt. And last but not least, Opetaia is in Egypt. Dave, you're not even there. But if you do show up, I'm sure a lot of credit. You got to make noise, man. You got to take advantage of the notoriety. You have to embrace this notoriety. It's the best time for notoriety, David. And I'm sorry to say, but if you have no interest, and I'm more than sure David's handlers knew who was coming to the event, but if you really dodge all of what they call the fade, if you dodge all that stuff, yo, man, that's disappointing, man. You're not really about that, in my opinion. Show us the real Mexican monster. Show us that the Mexican monster can beat a younger Pacheco's brother at heavyweight, or you can take on a um, Richard Torres, or you can take on a Andy Ruiz, or whatever, man. Because remember, heavyweight's unlimited. So you yourself was more than like 240 once upon a time, man. Yo, now's your time to show all-time greatness. You got to take those challenges, man. So that's what I got, man. But hopefully it's gonna be a good week, and let's see what's up with Shiraz. Um, and then let's see how Usyk finishes out Verhoeven. But guys, it could be an upset, man. If Verhoeven can clip Usyk, that's a lot of pounds. I mean, even though Joshua did, even though Dubois did, Verhoeven has to do something that they didn't do. Dubois, Joshua trying to box with Usyk. Come on. And by the way, shout out to Joshua fight. He's going the full 12 in both fights. That's hard, man, to go with Usyk with Joshua's physique. And that's what Joshua wanted to emphasize. But shout out to them. But guys, Verhoeven has to take Usyk to the ropes, take him to deep waters, draw him out, smash him, man. And he's big. He's big to do that. So we'll see if Verhoeven's about that game, if he's about that. So, anyways, man, I'm gonna close this one out. It's getting too hot up in here, man. What's up with these honeys? Any honeys out here? I don't know, man. I hear some cute voices. Anyways, man. So I'll catch you guys on the next one for Al Cuerpo Boxing to the body, man. Catch you guys on another one, man. Peace. How you close this thing, man? I don't know how to close this shit.